Hey there, sports fans. Mike Ritter coming to you here live from the Well in Williston as the Tetons are set to be back in action here in a little under 10 minutes. They're at home against Dickinson State's JV squads, a non-conference tune-up. Here shortly, the Tetons will be heading down to Arizona to play some of the best teams from around the nation before they come back in the new year for some conference action, which you can catch exclusively right here on the Williston State YouTube page. Williston State comes into this matchup here against the Blue Hawks as they're looking to continue their hot streak. Winners of 5 in a row, 7-2 overall on the season, and they're looking to get after it once again on the court. They had a couple of massive games their last two matchups, and those ones were held just on the 22nd and 23rd. First off was a big win over Minnesota North College Vermilion, 99-41, and then a gigantic win at Minnesota North College Ithaca, a win of 123-24. So this Teton team seems like they're firing on all cylinders. They had some turnover issues earlier in the season. Looking at how they're leading the way on the court, starting off with points per game, Taylor Murtaugh has 14.4 points per contest, Allison Coonsey at 12.8, Jersey Berg at 11.8, and Allie Garcia at 11 points even on the season so far. So some very balanced scoring across all of the starters here for the Tetons, and they're looking to spread the wealth early and often. Taking a look at the team leader in assists per game for Williston State, and that's Kylie Simpson, the freshman out of Botno. She has five assists per game and just over 2 turnovers. So she's doing it a big load for a freshman out on the court and logging lots of minutes as well. Looking at the team lead in rebounding, and it's Allison Coonsey. She's pulling down 8 rebounds per game, 5 defensive and 3 big offensive rebounds. So Williston State getting it done on the boards as the Tetons look to try and do themselves one better from the past 2 seasons, where they finished as runner-up in the Region 13 tournament, losing both times to NDSCS and the Wildcats. The Wildcats, one of the teams that have given the Tetons one of their 2 losses so far on the season, and that was a barn burner down at the season opening tournament in Newtown, the Buster Gillis Tip-Off Classic. In the championship game, the Tetons were denied going back-to-back in that Tip-Off Classic, and now they'll have to look to try and solve that riddle one more time. Tetons looking to see if they can't reverse their fortune and be crowned queens of Region 13 and the Mondac Conference. Here we have about 5 minutes left before we get under the way with this Teton women's game. Coming up about 20 minutes after this game gets finished, we'll have the men's game. And all of the action tonight brought to you by Rawlock Resources, a proud sponsor of Teton Athletics right here on the Williston State YouTube page. Also, it's Trinity Christian School Night here at Williston State. And there will be lots of Trinity Christian fans and parents of fans in the stands with them as they look to use some of the area schools to pack the well and give them a great Teton experience. We're going to step away for a quick break here for this pregame show right here on Williston State College's YouTube page. We'll be back for more here in a couple minutes.
With American State Bank and Trust Company of Williston. Whether it's equipment, land, or working
This is Aaron Gramley, Bank Manager at American State Bank and Trust Company. We understand the challenges and opportunities unique to this region. Reach out today to set up a visit to our office or out your field.
to help go be the IC Equal Opportunity Lender.
Save on STIHL outdoor power equipment this fall at Acme Tools. Right now, save $50 on the MS250 18-inch gas chainsaw, built for tough tasks and reliable performance. Plus, save up to $50 on a new STIHL backpack blower or blower back and leave the raking up to the neighbors. And the expert service technicians at Acme Tools can get your hard-to-start power equipment tuned up and ready for those fall projects. Find your STIHL this fall at Acme Tools or online at acmetools.com.
Welcome back, Teton fans. Mike Ritter here from the Well in Williston, and we're just over 3.5 minutes away from the first of two of this Teton doubleheader, with the women due up first, looking to give themselves up to an 8-2 record on the season. Taking a look at the Mondac Conference to see who's doing what so far without anyone playing a conference game for the first time in several years here in the Mondac. This is the first year that there is no 3 trips through the conference. Last year started off with the Buster Gillis tip-off, was all conference games to start off. Looking at first with the women's basketball standings, NDSCS comes in at a perfect 8-0 at this point on the year. Bismarck State at 8-1. Wilson State College at 7-2. Dakota College at Botno 4-3. Dawson Community College at 4-4. Lake Region State 5-5, as is United Tribes Technical College and Miles Community College, coming in at 2-9 overall on the season. So Teton women's basketball currently sitting in 3rd place, but still lots of season and all of the conference season to go as they look to get after it here early and often. Looking at some of the individual stat leaders for the Mondac Conference and see how the Tetons fare among them. Looking at individual point leaders per game, none of the Tetons in the top 5. Murtaugh just outside of the top 5, with a 5 spot being at 15.1, although not an issue for Wilson State as they have a very balanced attack on offense. Also known for Wilson State in the top 5 for rebounding in the game. Allison Coonsey is the closest, and she's just outside of the top 5. Kohlweger for Lake Region has 8.4. Coonsey pulling in a cool 8 rebounds per game. Coonsey is, however, on top of the list with field goal percentage in the conference. She's making an impressive 62% of her field goals. In at number 4 and 5 are 2 more Tetons. Bolito comes in making 58% of her shots, and Simpson, the freshman point guard, making 51%. 3-point shooting, Tetons not yet in the top 5. They look to work their way back in as the Tetons still looking to find themselves from beyond the arc. That's one of the things that they're still looking to pick up. Looking at the 3-pointers made per game, Ali Garcia and Taylor Murtaugh each with 1.9, and they're shooting just about 5.5 3-pointers each, so something Bill Triplett, head coach for Wilson State, would like to pump up there is as the turnovers decline, he'd like to see a little bit more accuracy from beyond the arc. And we're under a minute left to go before we get underway with this one here in Williston. The Tetons hosting Dickinson State JV. It should be a good pair of games. We'll have the starting lineups and national anthem here just in a bit. And on the booth with the mic in his hand at the score table is Wilson State College softball head coach, as he's getting ready to announce the starting lineups. We're going to step aside here while they do the national anthem from the Well in Wilson. We'll be back for the starting lineups and tip-off of the women's game here in a couple of minutes.
Good evening, sports fans, and welcome to Trinity Christian School game night at Harrelson Court on the campus of Wilson State College for the NCAA basketball. This matchup features Dickinson State University Blue Hawk JV and your Williston State College Peacock. At this time, we please rise and we'll all have to face the flag and honor America's playing learners.
back, and now we're ready to go for the starting lineup for the Dickinson State Blue Hawks and their women's JV. Starting out, number 3, Ray Vines, a 5'5" sophomore guard from Eagle Butte, South Dakota. Number 5, Delissa Fishbach, a 5'5" sophomore point guard from Moorcraft, Wyoming. Number 12, Mackenzie Konzelman, a 5'9" sophomore forward from Newcastle, Wyoming. Number 20, a 5'6" freshman guard out of Lennon, South Dakota, Allie Cohn. And number 34, a 5'8" freshman forward from Van Tassel, Wyoming, Rachel Crine. Now time for the starting lineups for the home team on the scoreboard, Williston State and the two Tetons. First one out is a 5'9" freshman guard from Botno, North Dakota, number 4, Kylie Simpson. Followed up by a 5'10" sophomore forward from Malta, Montana, number 5, Allison Coonsey. A freshman guard, 5'9", from Tarralagon, Australia, number 13, Taylor Murtaugh. A 5'9" sophomore guard from Martin, Australia, number 15, Ali Garcia. And number 21, a 5'11" freshman forward from Bismarck, North Dakota, Jersey Bird. Tetons are coached by Bill Triplett. Both teams now taking the court, ready to get after it here for this first of 2 games on a chilly and snowy Tuesday in Williston. Coach Triplett giving the last couple of instructions to his team before they hit the court, making sure they're locked in here to start this one. The Tetons will be bringing Berg into the jump circle. She'll be going up against Crine. The officiating crew out of Montana coming in. And we are set to go for Teton basketball. Berg ready, Crine ready. Ball's up in the air. Teton's going to tip it, but Blue Hawks will get a second touch and they'll take over. Fischenbach has it working away around the perimeter. Hands it off to Cone. Cone hands it off again, up on top to Vines. Good ball moving. In the first position by Dickinson State. Long 2-point jump shot by Fischenbach. A very long 2-pointer's up and in. And Dickinson State takes an early 2-0 lead. Back comes Simpson up the court. Tetons have their first possession of the game. Berg on the far wing. She drives, kicks over to Garcia. In the corner to Simpson. Finds the corner, gets the elbow. She's going to be stripped. Turnover on the Tetons. Going back to Dickinson State. Back they come up the court. Fischenbach has it on the wing. Kicks it back out of the perimeter to Cone. Back in the corner. Fischenbach looking for traffic. She'll get it over to Crine. Gets to the high elbow. Cut off. Great defense by Coonsey. As the Blue Hawks swing it around. 3-pointer by Cone. And that one is going to be up and good. Back-to-back long jumpers for this Blue Hawk squad. And they have a 5-0 lead early. Up the court comes Murtaugh. Hands it off to Garcia on the wing. Picks up a Berg screen. Tipped away again from the Tetons. Very active defensive start for this Blue Hawk squad. Coming back the other way, Simpson, from the elbow with the jumper for 2. Tetons on the board. Now trailed by 3, 5-2. Back up the court now. Cone has it on the wing. Gets it off to Kleinen. Backing down a defender. Garcia with the steal, looking to push it up. Has it poked away. Takes a big bump from Crine. And that'll be the first foul of the game going against Dickinson State. 5-2 with 8:32 left to go in the first quarter on the American State Bank scoreboard. Crine's first personal, first team foul. Inbound pass goes from Berg to Simpson, who's being hounded at the timeline by Vine. Swings it back up to Berg on the right-hand wing. Back up to Berg looking for Coonsey. Good drop step underneath. Puts it up and in. Allison Coonsey with her first 2 of many here this evening. And Wilson State back within 1. Vines pushing up the court. And she's going to just about throw it out of bounds. Cone is able to keep it back in. And the first substitution at the scorer's table for Dickinson State on the next stoppage. And with that, Crine going to whistle for the travel, which will have her come out of the game. Checking in for her, number 23, Sadie Stephenson. And the Tetons now have a chance to take the lead here with 8 minutes remaining left in the first. Murtaugh pushed it up the court, blows by a defender, gets down low underneath to Coonsey, puts it up, no good. Has her offensive rebound stripped away from her into the hands of Vines. Vines, long pass over to Cone. Again, Dickinson throwing the ball around, get it across the timeline. Slowing things down now. Fischbach has it on the perimeter. Up on top, Stephenson gets her first touch. She'll flip it over to Cone. Another 3-pointer from Cone. That one's going to be off the side of the rim. Another offensive rebound. Pass underneath the Vines. Loose ball on the floor. Vines and Murtaugh tangled up on the floor. And there's going to be a jump ball whistled here with 7:32 left to go in the first quarter. So Merton Vines got their arms linked and a little bit tangled up. And frustration not boiling over. Still, Tetons trailed by 1, 5-3. Merton gets it over to Simpson. Zone press coming up for this Blue Hawk squad. Berg will move it across the floor himself. Out to Garcia. Foot fake. Baseline drive. Pull-up jumper. That's going to be up. And it's going to be Coonsey. Fights through 2 defenders to get the offensive rebound and put it up and in. Coonsey now with 2 more. She has for the Tetons 6 points. Back on the Blue Hawks. Pass to Stevenson. Cutting through the lane. Intercepted by Berg. She's looking the court. Garcia gets it on the low block. She'll peel out. Berg on the perimeter. Head and shoulder fake. Goes off on the drive. Picks up her dribble. Over to Garcia who goes on the drive. Running floater up off the mark. No good. Pulled down back by Berg. Another offensive rebound. Turnaround floater for Berg. Puts it up and in. Berg with her first points of the game. Wilson State now up by a triple. Here comes a chance for some Tetons to put on some full court press D as Fishbach gets across the timeline. Polito set to check in for Williston State. Stevenson hands the ball off to the teammate up on top. Looking to get around, no one open. Stolen by Coonsey. Pass intended for Stevenson. Allison driving. She's going to be fouled on the way up. And the Tetons will get the first 2 free throws of the game as a couple more subs are set to come in. 2 shots coming for Allison Coonsey, who is 3 for 4 from the floor so far. Polito will be checking in for Garcia. Two shots coming from the line for Coonsey. First one is on the way. That one rattles off the side of the rim. No good. Checking in for the Blue Hawks, Townsend as well as Wheeler. Coonsey again at the line, looking to see if she can complete the second half of the 2-shot bonus, and she does. So that puts Wilson State up by 4, their largest lead so far. Back come the Blue Hawks running the court. Missed shot underneath. Polito altered the shot on the way up by Fishbach. Long pass over to Murtaugh across. Wilson State looking to set up. Murtaugh's going to take it to the rack. Swing pass over to Polito in the corner. Extra pass up on top to Simpson's. Wide open 3, no good. And that's going to be out of bounds off the fingertips of Jersey Berg and the Tetons. And they'll give it back to the Blue Hawks here with 6:02 left to go in the first. Both teams starting off with a little bit of cold shooting. Full court press being put on by Wilson State. Fischenbach has to get the ball off. Finds Wheeler. Long pass up to Cone. Cone gets it across. Open man underneath. Polito with the poke away again. And a very rangy defender was able to cover a lot of ground and break up what was going to be an easy rollout field goal. Allison Coonsey checking back in for Williston State. She'll give a break to Kylie Simpson. So Simpson will get her first break on the bench. Pass is going to go up on top of the perimeter to Townsend for the Blue Hawks. Down to the low post. Now Cone has it. Back up to Townsend. Works around the perimeter, looking down underneath to Stevenson. Drop step, puts it up and in. Sadie Stevenson with 2 points. That'll make it just a 2-point contest, 9-7 on the American State Bank scoreboard. Polito gets into the lane, dumps it off to Coonsey, puts it up and in. 2 more for Coonsey, assist by Polito. And the Tetons are back up by 4. Cone dribbling into a trap. She'll push it away now across the timeline. And very, very close to an over and back by Townsend. Will dribble it at the perimeter, looking for a teammate to get it off to. Everyone's covered up. They get it off to Stevenson. And she looks to drive on Garcia. Good job by Garcia with the cutoff. Back up to Wheeler. Down low to Stevenson. Bounce pass underneath the Townsend. She misses the bunny. Up no good. Pulled down by Murtaugh. Weaves her way through traffic. Looking to go the distance. She'll drive baseline. Swing pass. Finds Bolito, who try and force one up. And she'll be tied up with Stevenson on the way up. And there will be a media timeout as another substitution's taking place. Kylie Hooper into the game for Dickinson State. And we have a break for a media timeout. First whistle under 5 minutes of the quarter. This time we'll have one of our sponsors, and it is our game sponsor. Ruac Resources is a locally owned and operated ready-mix concrete, trucking, and sand and gravel producer. From large infrastructure projects to your driveway, they can provide top-quality products with uncommon hospitality. Give them a call, 701-664-3500. In addition, if you want to join a growing dynamic team, they're looking for different positions from CDL drivers to mechanics to heavy equipment operators. Their core focus is serving others and each other. Check them out online or on Facebook, ruacresources.com.
Red Rock Ford is a proud supporter of Williston State College Teton Athletics and our community. At Red Rock, we encourage you to get behind our athletes, schools, and local community. Let's support our friends and neighbors as we work together to make our city a great place to live and raise our families. And when it comes time for your next vehicle purchase, see us at Red Rock Ford, where a portion of every dollar spent goes right back into the community you know and love. That's Red Rock Ford, your hometown Ford store, proudly supporting Teton Athletics.
Mike Ritter back here from the well in Williston. Tetons just knocked a ball out of bounds. Now full court press going to be put on. Cone gets across the timeline. Underneath it goes. There's going to be blocked out by Murtaugh. Good recovery for Williston State after they allowed a run out by this Blue Hawks squad. Blue Hawks again will be passing or inbounding from underneath their own basket. Wheeler setting a call for action. 4 low. Flip up top to Hooper. Hooper will take over. Bolito blowed Spire. Swing pass on the perimeter. Three-pointer from Cone. Misses her third she's taken so far. And there's going to be a scramble for the ball. Finally picked up by Murtaugh. 4-on-3 break. Berg has it in the paint. Pull-up floater. Up and good. Jersey Berg so good from the mid-range. Knocks another one down. She has 4. More full-court press that the Blue Hawks were able to beat. Cone back up on top. It'll go to Townsend. She'll slow things down. More press from the Tetons. Now it'll be slowed down once again by Townsend, trying to find some options. Baseline pass underneath the Wheeler. Wheeler, the pump fake, puts it up and in. Williston State getting just a little bit spread too thin on defense, being up aggressive on the point. Back comes Murtaugh. She's going to lose the ball off her fingertips, but it'll be picked back up by Berg. Tetons get to reset. Coonsey looking for someone in the corner. Now hands it off to Murtaugh. Coonsey with the screen. Murtaugh, step back, three-pointer. Off the front of the rim. No good. It'll be pulled down by Townsend and the Blue Hawks. She'll take it up the court herself and cross the timeline, being picked up by Berg. Man-to-man defense for Williston State. Under 4 minutes left to go. Interception by Garcia. 1-on-2 with Bolito up the court. Garcia will pull out from 12 feet and knock that one down. Allie Garcia with her first points of the game. More full court press by the Tetons. Long pass to the middle of the court into the hands of Stevenson. She's going to lose the ball. Garcia picks it up underneath the Coonsey. Puts it up. No good off the rim. Bolito comes down with it. And there's going to be another jump ball called on the court. It'll give the ball back to Williston State. Third jump ball called of the game. Berg will now come out. Coming back in for her is Simpson. Inbound play coming for Simpson. Gets into Murtaugh. Back to Simpson to work her way back up on top. Pick and roll to Coonsey underneath. Up and in. Coonsey with 2 more. She has a game-high 9. 17-9 for the Tetons. Now more full court press. Pushing up is going to be Wheeler. Going cross court. Pass tipped out of bounds by Garcia. Saves it from going into the hands of Simpsons. Back come the Tetons. Williston State. Now Simpson driving baseline. Ball's going to be kicked on the inbound attempt. And that'll be another substitute coming in. Cone checking back out of the game. Back in is Fischbach. As Simpson inbounds, gets it into Coonsey. Up on top to Bolito. Tetons swinging Simpson back into the corner. She's open. Baseline drive underneath the Coonsey. Up to Bolito. Swing pass to Garcia. Long three-pointer. Got it to go. Allie Garcia from way downtown. First long ball for Williston State to drop. Now an 11-point lead. Long pass over to Fischbach. Up on top. More hounding defense by this Tetons front court. Little crossover now by Wheeler. Drives, kicks. Fischbach with an open look for 3. No good. Bolito's going to come down with it. She'll be off to the races, taking on 2 defenders, and she's going to be stripped from the ball, and she hits the stanchion hard. A good strip and just a hard fall. Couple of subs in and out now for this Blue Hawk team. Back in is Vines as well as Krein. Three-pointer in the corner for Murtaugh. That one's going to be up and no good. Pulled down by Vines. She'll push it up the court for Dickinson State. Picks up her dribble. She'll kick it off to Wheeler. Wheeler pounding now. Back up to Vines. Swings it over down into the corner. Looking at ball movement. Entry pass is going to be kicked out of there by Simpson. So the Tetons looking now to lock up defensively. The final 2:06 left to go in quarter number 1 on the American State Bank scoreboard. Inbound pass up on top. It'll go to Fischbach. Swings it into the corner to Wheeler. Looking down low. Good clear out move by Krein. Up on top it'll go. Good defense by the Tetons. 6 on the shot clock. There's going to be a steal by Williston State into the hands of Coonsey. Up it'll go to Murtaugh. Running the court is Simpson, and it'll be thrown up. Wild shot by Murtaugh, looking to draw the foul. Coach Triplett begging for a whistle out on the court on that one. Flashbot gets it underneath, down low, flipped up. Wild shot, but it's going to drop in there by Wheeler, and she'll now have 4 for the Blue Hawks. 20-11 with 1:33 left. Coonsey working down low, makes some space, steps through, up and in. Fancy footwork by Allison Coonsey, and she has as many as the Blue Hawks do here in the first quarter. Kreinhausen has it tripped on the perimeter. She'll get it off to Vines. Drive, step back, three-pointer on the way, and it's Vines. Drops it for the second long ball of the quarter by Dickinson State. Back comes Murtaugh up the court for the Tetons. Closing in on a minute left. Hands it off to Garcia. Garcia pounding the walk, now looking to drive. She's going to be stripped by Vines. Back comes the Blue Hawks the other way, and there's going to be Bolito, and Bolito will get in there for the big block. Ball will stay with Dickinson State, 25 on the shot clock, and Berg will check back in for the Tetons. She'll go in for Garcia. Inbound play coming for Dickinson State. Up on top, it'll go to Fishbach, picking up a screen from Krein. And they're going to whistle Coonsey for a reach and foul, looking to go for a steal on the crafty Vines. On the crafty Fishbach. Fishbach set to trigger in front of the scoreboard. Pass it in, down to the corner, looking underneath for Krein, and Tetons are going to poke it away again. And again, it's Bolito getting her hand in a passing lane. Another substitution, and Bolito will come out. Coming in for the first time is Hannah Brisky, number 35. So she'll do some good post work for Williston State. Entry pass underneath, kicked it back out around the perimeter, and Fishbach is going to be whistled for a travel, and that negates another three-pointer for this DSU squad. 47 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Berg will get it into Simpson. Simpson pushes it up the court for the Tetons. Now into the corner, hands it off to Murtaugh. Little stutter, gets to the free throw line. She's going to be fouled on the drive. So that'll keep the shot clock at 22 seconds. 38 seconds left to go in this first quarter. Simpson calling for action on the 4-low set. Couple of double screens, no one open. Finally over to Murtaugh. Murtaugh, quick shot, three-pointer, in it goes. Murtaugh with her first here in the quarter. And back comes DSU. The hounding defense finally get across into the hands of Fishbach. Had a player open down low, couldn't find him. There's going to be, travel missed on the three-point attempt, but there's going to be a miss by Wheeler anyways, pulled down by Murtaugh. Shot clock is off. 17 seconds left to go in the quarter. Up on top to Simpson, calling out a play. Double high screen coming. 10 seconds left. Simpson curls up on top to Coonsey. Looking down underneath. She finds Brisky. Brisky drop step, puts it up, and good. Hannah Brisky in the scoring column. 2 seconds left. A heave at the buzzer. Not going to be good. And the Tetons will take a 27-14 lead into the first quarter break. So we'll take a quick break here with the Tetons. Up 27-14 on the American State Bank scoreboard. We'll be back here in just a minute.
Legacy. It begins the moment we're born, growing with every step as we journey through life. It lives in the relationships we build along the way and in those we love. At First International Bank and Trust, our legacy is you. In every stage of life, we walk with you, making sure you get to where you're going and protecting your legacy for generations to come. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Mike Gooder back here from the well in Williston as the Tetons look to expand on their 13-point lead heading into quarter number 2. It'll be Dickinson State's ball here to start things off. With the Tetons have just started to go into their bench. They've only used 7 so far, with Brisky and Bolito, the 2 off the bench for the Tetons. And Williston State comes out with the same 5 that they ended the quarter with. Inbound play now for Wheeler. She'll get it in up on top to Vines. Vines being hounded by Simpson. Down to the corner will go for Dickinson State. Posting up on the low block is Krein. They get her to her. Brisky with a good defense. Kick out into the corner. Wheeler open for three. And that one will go down there. And late rotation on the baseline. Good ball movement. And that's a three-pointer to make it a 10-point game, 17-27. And a drive is going to be lost out of bounds by Simpson. And that'll give it back to DSU. Vines checking out of the game. Coming back in is Cone. And also Stevenson checking out for the Blue Hawks. Townsend back in for her. Crone, long pass, gets across to Fishbach. Up on top of the perimeter finds Crimes. Cone down to the corner. Little shimmy to shake by Townsend. She's looking to take off. Cut off at the elbow. Turnaround jumper over Berg. Off the front of the rim. No good. Pulled down by Murtaugh. Back come the Tetons. Up the court. 9:15 left to go in the half. Simpson driving. Cut off on the baseline. Back up on top. It'll go to Murtaugh. She'll set up this offense one more time. Berg to Coonsey. Coonsey up on top to Brisky. Now to Simpson. No one down low in the post for Williston State. Simpson at the high elbow. No good. Brisky over everyone. Goes and gets it. Catch and shoot by Murtaugh. That's in and out. No good. And there's going to be a foul called on Allison Coonsey. That's going to be her second personal. First team of the quarter. Quick sub in there for the Blue Hawks. Gets the ball into Townsend. Brisky just about with a steal. She left it out to a 3-on-2 break. Over on the perimeter. Bounce pass underneath. It gets to Conzelman. Conzelman kicks it out to Townsend. Townsend will put it up and in. So a 5-0 run here for the Blue Hawks to start this second quarter in Williston, as the Tetons have seen their lead shrink down to 8. And there's going to be a travel called on Berg. So the Tetons, 3 straight miscues on their first 3 possessions of the second quarter. Go now will get it into Fishbach. Back to Cone, looking to get across the timeline. Fishbach will take it herself. Long pass intercepted by Berg. 2-on-1 break. Here comes help. Berg pulls up from 12, and that gets in there. Jersey Berg with 6 points in the game. Pushes the lead back up to double digits. Pushing up the court now are the Blue Hawks. Townsend driving. Euro steps through. Kicks out to Crine. Baseline jumper up. No good. Tipped away from Coonsey. She swings it back to Crine. We'll reset up this Blue Hawk offense with a fresh 20. Here's a drive by Cone. She kicks into the corner. 3-pointer on the way. And again, same play, same result. Second plate straight possession with a 3-pointer. And now it's 29-22. Murtaugh with a drive, and she's going to be fouled on the way up by Fishbach. As now each team will have 1 foul apiece. Angie Koloff set to come in for the first time for Williston State, as is Bolito. Also out of the game for the first time is going to be Coonsey. Inbound play coming to Koloff. Looking down low, nothing there. Up on top to Bolito, looking for Murtaugh. In the corner, catch and shoot by Murtaugh. Up and over everything, no good. Pull back down by the Blue Hawks. Back comes Cone up the court. Cut off. Good bounce pass to get across the timeline. Up on top of the perimeter. Swing it around. Back to Cone. She drives. Pull-up jumper from the elbow. That's no good. Berg with the defensive rebound. She kicks it off to Murtaugh. Back comes Williston State. 7-point game. Berg now gets to the elbow again. Behind the back pass is going to go intended for Koloff. Gets intercepted. And the Tetons falling apart here to start this second quarter. As Cone again working her way around. There's going to be a steal by Bolito. She's 1-on-1 down the court. Bolito with the layup. Up and in it goes. So Bolito again with another great defensive play. That pushed the lead back up to 9. Cone now has it. Gets into the middle of the court across the perimeter. Over to Fishbach. Looking down low. Had a teammate open. Just couldn't find Townsend. So Cone now will get it up on top. Entry pass underneath. It'll go. Drop step put up. No good. Pulled down by Dolito. And that's going to be a foul on the rebound on Townsend. So Townsend will pick up 1 with 6:41 left to go. Second team foul. Back comes Williston State up the court with Simpson crossing the timeline. Closing in on 6.5 left to go on the American State Bank scoreboard. Koloff on the far wing. Looking down low. Nothing there on the curl by Simpson. Going through the motions, Williston State. Now Koloff with a good steal. Got away with a push-off. She's too far along the baseline. Has to find some more of the paint. She's looking for help. Directing traffic to Simpson, who got away with the travel. Over to Murtaugh, who drives. Flips to an up and gets it a drop. So Murtaugh made chicken salad out of chicken something else as the Tetons push back up to 11. Drive on the perimeter by Stephenson, looking to get across Berg. Swing pass into the corner again, wide open Fishbach. That's time she misses it, but it's going to be an offensive rebound. She'll flip it up on top to Gonzalez. Go now off the top of the perimeter, picks up a screen. Pick and roll, poked out by Murtaugh. Gets in the hands of Koloff. 3-on-2 break. Koloff gets it to Murtaugh. To Berg underneath. Jump stop, one-footed, and she puts it up and in. 2 more for Berg, who's up to 8. Tetons right of the ship and now have rattled off 8 unanswered points of their own as Townsend works around the perimeter on Berg, looking for an entry pass. Nothing there. Koloff, good denial defense down low in the blocks. Fischenbach, who's turned into a jump shooter now, swings it over to Cone. 8 on the shot clock. Fischenbach looking for it down low. Turnaround jumper with a hand in her face. Sadie Stevenson knocks one down in the paint. That'll make it 35-24. 5 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Next whistle will be a media timeout. Murtaugh behind her back dribble. She's going to swing it into the corner, and it'll split a couple of Tetons as another turnover by Williston State. As we have a media timeout, we'll have subs coming back for both teams. We'll be back for more Teton basketball right here on the Williston State YouTube page right after this ad read. Just like to mention that McKenna Forsberg Law is a proud sponsor of Teton Athletics. Back here for Teton basketball. It is Dickinson State's ball here with 3:54 left to go. Coming back up the court is Fischbach for the Blue Hawks. Met by Simpson on the perimeter. Hands off over to Wheeler, who's freshly checked back in. Turnaround mid-range jumper by Stevenson. That time no good. Pulled down by Koloff. She kicks it over to Garcia, who pushes it back up the court. Tetons now again. Simpson up to Coonsey, who's just checked back in at that media timeout. Garcia back to Koloff on top. Coonsey in the middle of the paint, and she's going to be pushed from behind. Had a big size advantage over Fischbach. And that'll be the third team foul on this Blue Hawk squad here in the second personal on Fischbach. Inbound play coming for the Tetons underneath their own basket. Along the blocks, inbound coming for Simpson. No one open. Good defense by the Blue Hawks. Gets it up on top to Bolito. Crosses over, drives. She floats it up, and she's going to be hit on the arm by Wheeler as she goes up 4-2. And that'll be 2 at the line now for Lucia Bolito. First one is going to be on the way. That one is good. We have a Teton sub coming into the game. Coming in for Koloff is going to be Brisky. Check back in. She has 2 points so far in the game. Bolito's second one, no good. Offensive rebound by Williston State. 1 for 2, and a pass shot's going to be blocked by Simpson. Another offensive rebound by Coonsey. Brisky gets the offensive rebound, gets another one, and she's going to run it out to Garcia. Long three-pointer for Garcia. That's off the mark, no good. It's going to be tipped out of bounds back to Williston State. So the Tetons had plenty of chances there, point blank and even a long one, but they still retain possession. 20 on the shot clock. Simpson set to inbound the ball, looking for a backdoor cut, nothing there. Brisky gets it along the perimeter. Bolito now on the near wing, drives, flips it underneath to Brisky. He's going to be tipped out of bounds, pinballed around, and it finally went off of Tegan Thompson and DSU. So Williston State now will inbound one more time with 15 seconds left. Coach Triplett calls out the new play. They go the 4 low look. Tetons late to get into the look, trying to find someone to curl open, no one there. Close to a 5-second call. Simpson gets it up on top to Coonsey. Now to Bolito. Coonsey with a clear out. Bolito with a drive. Finger roll up and in. We'll see Bolito with 2 more. She has 5 in the game. 38-24. Largest lead for the Tetons here in this one. Kuhn has it dribbled off her leg. Picked up by Garcia. 2-on-2 break with Simpson. Here comes Coonsey for help. No one filling the lanes. Back up on top to Brisky. She'll slow things down. Garcia wide open for 3. That one's going to be in there for Allie Garcia. Her second of the game. 41-24, back at the court, Townsend. She spins, floats one up over Bolito, no good. Pulled down by Coonsey. Back comes Simpson and Williston State. Tetons putting the pedal down here late in the second quarter. 3:15 left to go. Bolito crossing over, picking up a Brisky screen. Pick and roll. Brisky underneath, lays it up off the front of the rim. She's going to tap it away from Townsend. She'll regain up on top to Coonsey. Coonsey loses control into the hands of Bolito. Over to Garcia. Another open look for Garcia. That one goes back to back by Allie Garcia. Her third of the game. And the Tetons now up a cool 20, 44-24. Back up on top now. DSU has it in the hands of Stevenson. Bolito with another poke away and another one, and Stevenson will lose it out of bounds. Bolito again being a defensive stalwart for Williston State, and a trio of Tetons will check into the game. Bolito coming out. Tia Conradson getting her first run here this evening. Also checking back out of the game is Coonsey, with Murtaugh coming in. And Simpson out with Berg in. Berg will swing it over to Conradson. Just about lost the ball up on top to Brisky. Swings it around. Murtaugh with a contested 3-pointer. That one is blocked, but it can't be saved from going out of bounds after it landed into the hands of the Blue Hawks. And it trickled out now. It will be an inbound play for Williston State. 2:26 left to go in the second. Murtaugh looks to inbound. Finds Berg on the wing. Up on top to Garcia. Murtaugh again curling around. Open look. Off the mark. No good. It'll be tipped around and come down into the hands of the Blue Hawks. Big push up the court by DSU. Crine driving. Gets the low post. Kicks it out on top of the perimeter. 3-pointer on the way. That's not going to hit anything off the hands of Vines and out of bounds. And it'll go back to Williston State with 2:08 left to go. Back at the court now. Murtaugh swings it over to Berg, who will hand it back off to Murtaugh on the far wing. Conradson up on top, looking for a curl. Nothing there for the Tetons. To Berg on the near wing. Brisky screen. Berg from the high elbow. Up and good. Another mid-range jumper for Jersey Berg. She now has 10 in the game. The Tetons are up 22. DSU now up on top to Crine. Hands along the perimeter. 3-pointer on the way. That one is going to be up and good. First points of the game. It was the player who was not on the roster here, but a 3-pointer in there. First 3-pointer by Anderson. Curl pass over to Berg underneath, looking for Brisky. Can't find her. Fade away 1-footer again for Berg. Hit him with the Dirk Nowitzki move, and that is up and in for 2. So Berg with 2 straight jumpers put the Tetons back up 48-27. Crine kicks it off in the corner to Cone. Cone has it poked away. Conradson just about with the steal. Anderson driving. Back down. Picks up her dribble, and there's going to be a whistle on the court. Looks like you're going to call it walk on the Blue Hawks with 1 minute left to go. 48-27 here in the waning minute of this one from Williston, in the waning minute of the first half. Murtaugh against a double high screen. She gets to the elbow. Second step goes up and gets it to go. Taylor Murtaugh with the 2-pointer. Hoop and the harm and a chance for a third. 15 foul on the Blue Hawks. Only number 1 on Anderson. Excuse me, number 1 on Cone. As Murtaugh's at the line for 1. That one's no good. Brisky saves it from going out of bounds. Extra chance. Pull-up jumper again from Berg, who rattles it home. So Berg knocks down another mid-range jumper. Here comes the press again for Williston State. They get it up to Anderson. Fling it over to Krein to slow things down into the hands of Vines on the near wing. Half a minute to go in the first on the American State Bank scoreboard. Krein backing down on Brisky. Underneath to Anderson through her fingertips. Saved by Wheeler from going out of bounds. Wheeler back underneath. Tipped away by Murtaugh. Back in the hands of Wheeler. Up on top to Krein. Still 18 seconds left to go. 6 on the shot clock. Anderson can't get the jump pass from Krein. It'll go out of bounds back to Williston State. Here with 13.6 seconds left to go. So Williston State will get the last shot here of the first half. See if they can expand on their 25-point, 52-27 point lead. Murtaugh driving down the court, hands it off to Garcia. Comes around a double high screen. Garcia crosses over in the corner. Connerton, she gets a screen from Garcia underneath to Brisky. Point blank at the buzzer, and it falls off the rim. No good with the Tetons. Take a 52-27 halftime lead. As they'll talk about some things, definitely plenty of things to work on and make adjustments in that second half, especially with some of the turnover ills. But we'll have to see what the coaches have to say for the players when they come back out for the second half. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll have the halftime breakdown here from Williston.
Let's hear it for our first grade group from Williston, Trinity. sponsored by Bruac Resources. Thank you to Bruac for being the proud sponsor of Teton Athletics.
Mike, we're back here from the well in Williston. Time to take a look at some of the halftime breakdown. Starting off with the Dickinson State University JV squad. And looking who's leading them in scoring, it's Macy Wheeler with 7 points. She had 2 2-point field goals and a 3-pointer. Coming in with 5 points, Talissa Foshbach. She hit a 2-pointer and a 3-pointer. 4 points by Sadie Stevenson, hit a couple of 2-point field goals. A 3-pointer each by Ray Vines and Allie Cohn. And 2 points coming in from Tegan Townsend. Shooting percentages for DSU in that first half. They were 40% from the field, going 11 of 27, 41% from beyond the arc at 11 of 20, at 5 of 12. And from the free throw line, they did not attempt nor make one. Rebounding, 9 total rebounds in the first half, 6 defensive, 3 offensive rebounds, 5 steals, 1 block, 16 turnovers, 8 personal fouls to go along with their 27 points. Leading their way in rebounding is Fishbach. She has 3 total rebounds. Looking over at Williston State and the Tetons, Kylie Simpson with 2 points, Allison Coonsey with 11, Dayla Murtaugh with 7 points, Allie Garcia with 11, Jersey Berg with a game-high 14, Lisa Bolito with 5 points, and Hannah Brisky coming in with 2 points. The Tetons now looking to get after it here in the second half. About 4 minutes before we get going, they will have now a few more to warm up and get ready to go as the Blue Hawks now just taking the court as well. We're going to step away for a couple more minute break. We come back, we'll have the start of the second half here from Williston.
At American State Bank and Trust Company, we're more than just your local bank. We're your neighbors. We understand your financial needs because we call this community home too. Our commitment to you means personalized service, tailored solutions, and a friendly face every time you walk through the door. Discover the difference of banking with someone who truly cares and go beyond with American State Bank and Trust Company, where community comes first. Stop in or visit asbt.com today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
We're back here from the well in Williston about a minute before we get going from the third quarter. Taking a look at some of the advanced stats here between the Tetons and the Blue Hawks. Points in the paint, Tetons 24, Blue Hawks 6. Points off of turnovers, Williston State 24, Dickinson State 3. Second chance points, Tetons have the advantage in that, 8-3. Points off the bench, Dickinson State has more points off the bench, 16-9 over Williston State. Largest lead in the game for Dickinson State came when they had a 5-0 lead here to start. The Tetons quickly erased that and haven't looked back since. The largest lead for the Tetons is the one that they currently hold heading into halftime. It's a 25-point advantage on the American State Bank scoreboard, 52-27. So the Tetons now looking to come out strong in the second half, although it will be DSU who will get the ball first. And both teams coming out with the same 5 starters. Vines, Fishbach, Konzelman, Cone, and Crean for DSU. And for the Tetons, it'll be Simpson, Coonsey, Murtaugh, Garcia, and Berg. Everyone's ready to go here as we're waiting for a couple fans to get by the inbound lane. And now we're set to go. Konzelman set to trigger the first inbound play of the half, and we are underway. Gets the ball into Vines, who crosses the timeline. On top, Pride now backing down on Berg. Swings it over to Konzelman. To Vines on the perimeter, intercepted by Murtaugh. Tetons looking to run. Murtaugh has to dribble behind her back, and that allows defensive help to come. Gets it off to Simpson on top. 4 high set for the Tetons. Garcia waiting for action, back to Simpson. Tetons now looking to go a different direction with a different play. Berg back to Garcia. A little bit of congestion offensively for the Tetons. Nothing there on top. Garcia back with a 3-pointer. Got it to go. Allie Garcia hits her 4th triple of the game. She's up to 14 points so far, matching Jersey Berg for the game high. Cone now on top, hands it off to Crean. Back to Cone, a little back and forth between the two. Looking to drive on Berg. Crean kicks it out on the perimeter. Konzelman, three-pointer. That's not going to hit anything. Saved from going out of bounds and saved back by the Blue Hawks. Crean is going to be fouled on the ground, and it may go on Jersey Berg. No, they're going to call it on Allison Kunze. That's her 3rd. So an early 3rd on Kunze with 9:05 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Forlow set again for the Blue Hawks. Flip it up on top over to Vines. Simpson there in tow. Crean now working on Berg on top of the perimeter, looking to get it off to Cone. Picks up a screen. Pick and roll, nothing there. Back it'll go. Fischenbach tipped out of there, and the Tetons take away the ball. Back up comes Berg. A 2-on-4 break. Berg looking over. Murtaugh wide open. Kicks it up underneath to Kunze, and there's going to be a foul, a late foul called on Allie Cone. Cone definitely did bump Kunze there underneath. I think it would have been the case if the ball would have dropped. A foul may not have been called. As Kunze's at the line for another pair. She's 1 of 2 from the stripe so far in the game. Her first one is going to be up and good. There's going to be a timeout called for Dickinson State here with 8:43 left to go in this 3rd quarter. Before we take a quick break, we're going to have one more of our announcements for our sponsors for today's games and all season long for Teton Athletics. WCCU is your local credit union, which means they're a not-for-profit financial institution owned by you. WCCU has been serving Williston for many years and is proud of the difference they have made in the community. They're there when you need them for home, ag, and auto loans to checking and savings account. So join the herd at WCCU.org. We're back here in Williston. Allison Kunze at the line for her 2nd of 2 from the stripe. That one's going to be up and good for Kunze. 2 for 2 for that trip. Now 3 of 4 overall. And the Tetons are up 57-27, a 30-point lead. Crine has it on top of the perimeter. Konzelman now looking down low, nothing there. Finally, she gets it off to Vines. Again, looking for Crine. Good help defense by the Tetons. Garcia hustling back to guard that far corner. That's burnt the Tetons a few times. Foot on the line, 2 for Crine. That's no good. Offensive rebound by Konzelman. Back in the corner, finds Vines. Stepping back, kicks it off to Crine again. Working on Simpson and Burr. Cross court is going to be tipped out of bounds by Murtaugh. Very active defense for Williston State on that possession. But the Blue Hawks will take over. They'll have 12 on the shot clock. 8:05 left to go in the quarter. Going again, set to inbound the ball for Dickinson State. Into the corner it'll go. And it'll be a step-up jumper by Fischbach, but she'll be whistled for the travel. That'll give it back to Williston State to try to balloon their 30-point lead out. Inbound play goes from Bird to Simpson. Back comes Williston State. Simpson on top of the perimeter. Swings it over to Murtaugh. Looking for a Simpson curl. Nothing there. Up on top to Kunze. Back to Berg. Looking for Simpson on the wing. She was left all alone. Couldn't find her. Murtaugh now with the pull-up long 2-range jumper, and that's going to not hit anything. Murtaugh having an off night from the floor tonight. Showing a little bit of signs of frustration with herself as the ball goes back to the Blue Hawks here. 7:44 left to go in the 3rd. Fischbach bringing it up the court. Finds Crines on top of the perimeter. A little bit of a collision there with Garcia and Crines. No foul called either way as we continue on. Cone now has the ball up on top. 15 on the shot clock. Crines driving. Spins in the paint. Flips it over to Kuhn. Extra pass over the perimeter to Fischbach for 3. And that one is going to be in there. First field goal of the half for Dickinson State. 57-30. Simpson in the corner to Murtaugh. Being guarded by Konzelman. Up on top to Berg. Just about lost it in the backcourt. Finds Simpson. Murtaugh posting up in the low post. Garcia now with the ball on top of the perimeter. Looking for a curl. Finds Simpson. Peels back out. Looks to step through. Flip shot up. No good. Lots of contact by Vines on that shot by Simpson. As she has the ball back up the court now. A little bit of a fancy footwork. Kicks it up on top to Crine. And Klein going to be called for the offensive foul, and Jersey Berg there, happy to take it as she hits the deck. That'll be the second team foul on Dickinson State, as Klein now will take a seat on the bench here with 6:47 left to go. She'll also be subbed out along with Konzelman. Checking in will be Hooper, as well as number 23, Tegan Townsend. Garcia on the far wing, looking for options. Finds Berg on top to Simpson. Baseline drive. Simpson swings back through to Garcia. Three-pointer on the way. Off the mark. Coonsey pulls down the offensive board. She'll put it back up and in. Allison Coonsey with 2 more. Up to 15 in the game to lead out all. Cone, long pass underneath, trying to find Hooper. Hooper found herself too far underneath the basket. Goes out of bounds. And the Tetons, who are a little bit out of sort in transition defense, got away with one there as they get the ball back here. Now 6:22 left to go in the third. Kylie Simpson, the freshman from Botno, pushes it up the court. Finds Murtaugh on the near wing. Now up to Berg. Swings over to Garcia. Thinks about a baseline drive. She's going to be cut off over by Fishbach. And there's going to be a foul called after a hard defensive effort by Fishbach. And that'll be an inbound play coming for Williston State. Fishbach checking out of the game as she picks up her third. Macy Wheeler checks in. Simpson calling for action on a low set. Finds Garcia on the perimeter, looking underneath for Coonsey, nothing there. Next effort, bounce, entry pass underneath, drop step on Wheeler, steps through, puts it up, 2 more for Coonsey. Been so good in and around the glass all game and over her Teton career. Teton just about lost Wheeler underneath the basket all alone before Garcia picked her up. So the Tetons a little bit defensively out of sorts. Cone now has the ball up on top on Murtaugh. Wheeler shimmy and a shake, kicks it off over to the perimeter to Vine. Steps through, and she's going to be whistled for the travel. A good collapse defense by the combination of Garcia and Simpson. And Williston State takes over, leading 31. Still yet to hit the halfway mark of the third. Simpson back up the court for Williston State. Over to Murtaugh in the corner. She'd love to get going here at some point here in this one. Garcia on a baseline drive. She swings it through to Murtaugh in the corner, just about out of bounds. Murtaugh had to save it, couldn't get a shot. Now a drive by Berg, and Berg is going to be fouled. She throws a fading one-footed jump shot after the whistle, but they're going to say it's on the ground. We'll see if it's on the reach end or the defense, and that one is going to go to... It's going to go against number 23, Stevenson. Inbound play, finds Kuhn. She hits it and drops it. Macy Wheeler picks up the foul, so 2 more for Allison Coonsey. She has 6 so far in this third quarter. A couple more subs are set to come in. Out of the game goes Cone. Checking in for her is Anderson, and Vines also checking out with Townsend in. Kuhn back at the line, 4-1 shot. Knock down this free throw. She'll be up to 20 points in the game. Here it comes. Off the front of the rim. No good. Tipped around. She gets the rebound. Finds Garcia underneath. Garcia up and in for 2. Everything turning up Tetons here in this one, as they're now up 35 points. Still the quarter and a half left to play. Wheeler up on top to Stevenson. Puts it on the ground. Looking for someone. Finds Hooper along the perimeter. Kicks it back over underneath to Townsend. And Townsend's going to have it kicked away from her by Simpson. So this halftime talk work by Coach Triplett, as the Tetons have been very engaged defensively here the first 5 minutes of this third quarter. Inbound pass. They finally get into Anderson. Back it'll go now to Townsend. Up on top to Wheeler. Works her way around the perimeter to Stevenson on top. She'll drive. Looking for Anderson, cutting through, no one there. Wheeler with a baseline drive on Coonsey. Throws one up, no good. Pulled down by Berg. Tetons looking to run. Long pass up to Murtaugh. Simpson not paying attention. She somehow maintains control. Forces one up, no good. Coonsey with the rebound. She'll kick it out to Garcia. Pump fake with a flyby. Garcia with a mid-ranger up and in. Allie Garcia. A very smart play to get the defender to fly by, and then the 2-point jumper. 67-30 on the American State Bank scoreboard. Entry pass underneath. Defense by the Tetons. Force the miss. Murtaugh with the rebound. Ball's going to be fumbled through. So Murtaugh flips it off to Simpson to avoid a travel. Tetons take back over. 4 minutes left to go here in the third. Garcia on the far wing. Picking up a Coonsey screen. Little move, little floater, hangs, and she'll draw contact from Stevenson, sending Garcia to the stripe for a pair. So Williston State with a huge and increasing lead here in this one. And Williston State looks to be going to the bench, and they're going to put some size out on the court as Garcia knocks down her first of two. Garcia now up to 19 points, matching Kunze. Allie one more from the line. That one is up and good. She now has 20 points. Coming out of the game will be Kunze as well as Berg. Coming in is Keeksta. And joining her is Brisky. Hooper coming to the court for DSU. Polito also set to check in for Williston State. There's going to be a touch on the pass. Simpson with the steal. She's going to drive. Gets down low. Gets the hoop and the harm. Two more for Kylie Simpson. She has 4 with a chance for 5. So the T-Towns still increasing that defensive intensity as we get some more subs coming into the game. Checking out is Garcia as well as Murtaugh. Into the game is Conradson. Joining her is going to be Polito. Simpson, 1 of 1, and that will not fall. Score remains 71-30. 3:42 left to go in the third. Polito on ball defense on Wheeler looking to make a steal. Nothing there. They find Krein. Looks to drive on Keeksta. Krein loses her footing but gets the ball off of the perimeter. Back to Wheeler. She drives. Kicks. Anderson for another 3. That's going to be up. No good. Polito with the rebound. Gets it off to Simpson. Williston State looking to push up the court. Simpson in the perimeter. Working her way around. Pulls up. Mid-range jumper from the elbow. Up and in. 2 more for Simpson. Williston State now up by 43 points as here comes 4 subs in for Dickinson State. Polito just about with the steal, but she can't keep it in bounds. Tip it away from Townsend. The only player staying on the court for the Blue Hawks. Looks like they have all new players in now. Vines back in, Fischbach back in. On the top of the perimeter, Krein has it. She'll hand it off on now to Conzelman. Conzelman is going to lose it as Krein is trying to get it. Koloff can't handle the long pass, but the interception from Fischbach took her into the backcourt, and that'll be an over and back call on DSU. Checking into the game for Williston State for the first time is going to be DeMontney, the 5'6" freshman from Rocky Boy. Polito with a baseline drive. She's going to go with the right-handed layup, driving left, and she gets it up and in for 2 more. Tetons up 45, 75-30. 2.5 left to go in this third quarter. Entry pass going to be tipped away, stolen by the Tetons. Keeksta gets it off. Over to DeMontney. She drives, gets on top. Mid-range jumper from the elbow. That one's going to be off the mark. Pulled down by Vines. But Tetons keeping the pace up. Vines pushing it back up the court. Gets through a couple of defenders. Long skip pass to Conzelman. Makes the extra over to Fischbach. Now to Vines. 3-pointer coming back the other way from Cone, and that one is going to get up in there. Allie Cone with the second field goal of the quarter for Dickinson State. Both of them have been 3-pointers. Koloff on top of the perimeter. She looks to take off on the defender. Has the size, but not the speed advantage. There's Bolito. Flips it out. Keeksta with a 3-pointer off the top of the backboard. It'll be tipped away and into the hands of Keeksta. Conradson looking for someone to get it off to. She'll hand it to Bolito. Little shimmy to shake. Bolito is going to be whistled for the travel, and that'll be a turnover back to DSU here with 1:33 left to go. All bench players on the court for the Tetons. They had a little bit of trouble that last possession, finding an offensive set. Cone on top of the perimeter, looking for a pass over on the wing to Conzelman. Big fight down underneath with Keeksta and Crean. Can't find an entry pass to Crean with help on the way. Cone now looking to drive, gets in the paint. She'll kick over to Vine. Now to Fischbach, and Fischbach's going to be fouled on the ground. She's the second team foul on Williston State. Here with 1:13 left to go, they're saying it's going to be on the ground, so just an inbound pass coming. 1:13 left in the third quarter on the American State Bank scoreboard. Long pass up on top by Fishbach. Nice catch on the pass. Swing into the corner. Conzelman for three, and that one is going to be in there. So 3 3-pointers in the quarter. Result for all 9 points is now 75-36. Koloff has it on the perimeter. Over will go to Conradson. Working on a double team. Underneath to Koloff. Couldn't handle the lob pass. It'll be stolen away by Vines. Back comes Dickinson State up the court. Vine being harassed by Bolito. She'll pick up her dribble up on top. Now to Crean. Cone has it. Cone, foot fake, gets it into the quarter. Conzelman for another three, and that one's going to be back-to-back three-pointers by this DSU squad. They now have 12 points all from behind the arc in the quarter. Back comes Williston State. Half a minute left to go in the third. Underneath, Keeksta forces one up, fouls it goes, hanging on the break, and it'll roll off the end, no good. Zenifera Keeksta will go to the line for a pair, as that foul will go on Rachel Krein, her third personal. Keeks at the stripe for her first of two. She has 2 points so far in the game and a first half field goal. First one's going to be up and good. One more coming. Keeks again at the stripe. And there's going to be a lane violation on Cream, but it won't matter as Keeksa knocks down her second of two. Dickinson State now will have this with the shot clock off. They can get the last shot of the quarter up on top. Conzelman finds Cone. Cone pulls back out, waiting for Crean to set a high screen. She'll slip through. 2 posts on the defense there. Good switch. Cone into the corner, finds Fishbach wide open for three. No good. That'll be pulled down by Bolito. 3 seconds left. She's looking to run the court, and she's going to be fouled by Vines with 0.7 seconds left to go. Maybe a little bit of a frustration foul, as Vines would have had to leave Bolito for a running contested 3-point shot without the bump. Zio Bolito now at the stripe for a pair. First one on the way, rattles off, no good. She'll have one more coming here with 0.7 seconds left to go. Bolito again from the line for her second of two. That one is going to be up and good. The last 7/10 of the second are dribbled off the clock, and the Tetons will take a quarter break here from Williston. They lead 79-37 over the DSU JV squad. We'll be back for more Teton basketball here in a minute. Back here from the well in Williston, the Tetons coming back out, and they're coming back out with their 5 starters on the court. They'll look to see how much run they get here in the fourth quarter. It will be Teton ball looking to get it in. Berg will get it into Simpson, and we are underway for the final frame here from Williston. Berg hands it off to Murtaugh on top. Now to Coonsey, looking down low, nothing developed yet. Back to Simpson. She looks to drive, gets the elbow, cut off. Back up on top to Berg. Over to Garcia on the wing, closed out by Fishbach. Garcia, drive, takes a bump, kicks it over to Murtaugh. Open look for three from the wing, no good. Murtaugh still cold from the floor. She hustles back on defense. Fishbach weaves her way through traffic, picks up a Crean screen. Now over to Vines on the baseline. She pulls back, being guarded by Coonsey, picks up her dribble. Cone on the wing, swings it back to Fishbach. In the corner to Conzelman. Consman back to Cone, back to Consman, looking underneath with a seal for Greenhouse on Berg. She's going to swing it through. Three-pointer on the way from Fishbach off the front of the iron, no good. Pulled down by Jersey Berg, gets it off to Murtaugh. Tetons have numbers, looking to bounce pass over to Garcia, flips it through. Back to Murtaugh. Lots of bumping around. Murtaugh keeps it alive. Gets it back to Simpson. To Berg. Coonsey in the middle of the paint. Gets the ball. Drop step. She's going to put it up, and she'll be fouled by Vines, who just picked up her fourth. Here with 8:58 left to go in this fourth quarter on the American State Bank scoreboard. A couple of substitutions coming in for Dickinson State. Vines. Oh, it's only Vines' third personal. Stevenson back in the game, as well as Hooper. As Coonsey's at the stripe for a pair. It's going to be up and good. So Coonsey finds her way to the line the most for this Teton squad. Back at it again. Her third trip to the stripe. Next one on the way, and that one hard off the back of the iron, no good. Pulled down by Berg, wrestles it free, and the Tetons will get a fresh set as the score remains 79-39. Loose ball again on the court, and this time it'll be a tie-up, and it will go to Dickinson State. As we have a whole line squad in here for the Blue Hawks. So out of the game goes Cone, Fishbach, as well as Konzelman. Working way up the court now, Townsend. Pushes across the timeline. Picked up by Garcia. Townsend has it poked away from Garcia, and just about another steal for Williston State, as they've been very, very tenacious on the defensive end. Inbound play coming. Anderson flashes the perimeter. Nothing there. Up on top. Finally get it to Hooper, who will set up the offense. Hands it off to Townsend. Looking to take Garcia. Cut off. Into the entry pass down underneath to Stevenson. Stolen away by Coonsey. Back comes Williston State. Garcia running the lane. Nothing there. Back to Coonsey underneath. She's cut off in the corner for Murtaugh. Murtaugh with another long range one off the front of the iron. No good. Pulled down by Stevenson. Back come the Blue Hawks. Townsend has to flip it ahead to avoid trouble. Over to Hooper. Into the corner to Wheeler. Baseline drive. Good defense by Simpson against the tall combo guard. Anderson smothered by Murtaugh. Corner forced up by Wheeler, no good. Offensive rebound comes down to Townsend over the top of Garcia. Another offensive rebound. Now goes Anderson on the drive, and she's going to be fouled underneath by Murtaugh here with 7:52. And that will be a rare free throw trip at the stripe for this Blue Hawks squad. And in fact, it will be their first trip to the line all game long. All 12 of their points here in this second half have come from beyond the arc, and that continues as Anderson misses her first of two. Addie Anderson back to the line for Dickinson State for her second of two. On the way, that one is up and going to be good. So now Dickinson State 1 for 2 in the game from the stripe. Back comes Simpson. Bounce pass to Garcia. Picks up a Berg screen. Looking for a curl. Nothing there. Well scouted by Dickinson State. Back to Murtaugh. Picks up a screen. Up on top to Simpson. Underneath to Coons. Pump fake. Got Anderson in the air. And Coonsey with two more. She has 22 for the Tetons. Williston State back up by 41 points. On the drive goes Townsend. Gets away with a forearm shiver. Offensive rebound again. Step back. Gets to the hand of Hooper. She'll miss that mid-range jumper. Another offensive rebound, and there's going to be a jump called. We'll give the ball to Williston State. The offensive rebound that got into the hands of Townsend was tied up by Murtaugh, as the Tetons are going to have a substitution coming in there. Murtaugh will get a break on the bench with Bolito checking in for her. Inbound play now goes to Simpson from Berg. Tetons look to extend their lead back out. Back up into the 40-point range. 41 points, 81-40. 7:09 left to go. Garcia way downtown. That one's getting hit off the front of the iron. No good. Tetons now chasing out. Long pass across to Hooper. And Hooper's going to be whistled for the travel as the Blue Hawks were looking to get something cooking in transition. They give it back to Williston State with 7 on the dot left to go. So both coaches looking to see if they can't keep their teams locked in here in the remaining 7 minutes with a 41-point differential. Kylie Simpson brings the ball back up the court for Williston State. 4 high look. Coonsey, pick and roll, finds Berg now underneath. Berg steps back through traffic, weaves her way, finds Bolito on the perimeter. Bolito thought about a step back underneath the Coonsy, and it's going to be tipped away by the Blue Hawks. Back they come up the court. Pushing it is Stevenson. Swings it over to Anderson up on top. Now Hooper for three. Hooper's going to be off the mark, no good. Another rebound for Townsend, and a fresh shot clock for the Blue Hawks. Townsend calling for it in the corner. They get underneath to Stevenson. Kicks out at Townsend. Good closeout by Simpson, and they're going to whistle Simpson on the foul after she tried to recover after getting up on her toes. So Simpson picks up the foul with 6:22 left to go. Second team foul on the Tetons in the quarter. First personal on Simpson. Entry pass up on top to Townsend. Now back underneath. And there's going to be a block shot underneath by Garcia. Tetons out to the races. Coonsy up to Bolito. Has to stutter step to stay in bounds. She'll curl back out to the perimeter. Now drive. Floater up, no good. Coonsy chasing it down. It's going to be last touch out of bounds off of the Tetons. They'll give it back to Dickinson State. 6:06 left to go in this fourth quarter. Macy Wheeler inbounds the ball to Tegan Townsend. Townsend across the timeline for DSU. Up on top to Stevenson. Hands it to Hooper. Hooper just about lost a handle. Grace had to come in for the Tetons for her first time in the game. Anderson just about had it stolen. Now Bolito will steal it. 2-on-0 break. Bounce pass to Garcia. She's going to be hit on the way up, and she'll go to the line for two. Foul go on Sadie Stevenson. So Garcia now at the stripe. As Coonsy checks out of the game for what may be the last time, was Patience Gray coming in. Gray seeing her first run here this evening for Williston State. She's a 6'4" freshman center out of Spokane, Washington, as Garcia knocks down the front half of her two-shot bonus. That foul on Stevenson is her fourth of the game, with Garcia taking her time at the line for her second of two. Next one up, and it is good as well. Garcia now up to 22 points, and Stevenson will check out of the game with Green coming back in. Green will get it into Townsend. Pushes back up the court for DSU, closing in on the final 5 minutes in this one. Green, little give and go underneath to Townsend. Can't handle it. Over to Anderson. Long three-pointer up, no good. Ball's going to be tipped away from Garcia. An entry pass underneath. And that'll be 2 points up and in for Macy Wheeler. That's the first 2-point field goal of the second half by Dickinson State. Garcia gets it across the timeline. Picked up by Hooper on the near wing. Gray posting up her defender. Good entry pass. Drop step. Gray puts it up and in. First 2 points of the game for Gray on her first shot. Williston State up 85-42 on the American State Bank scoreboard. Wheeler will swing it over to Green. Crosses over on Gray. Kicks it into the corner. Hooper for three. Up and no good. Tipped around. Pulled down by Garcia. Tetons have numbers if they push. They'll flip it up ahead to Berg. Berg lays it up. Takes the shot and gets it a drop. Two more for Jersey Berg. She had all 14 of hers in the first half and just got points 16, 17, or 15, 16, and a chance for 17 right here. As back into the game come four subs for this DSU squad. Back in is Vines, Fischbach, as well as Cohn, and the final starter back in is Konzelman. Berg at this try for 1 of 1. That one's going to be up. No good. Gray with the rebound. Puts it back up and in. Patience Gray now up to 4 points as the Tetons push their lead up now 89-42. Vines on the drive. Cut off by Bolito. Over to Green. Green looking pounding the rock. Finds Hooper. And that'll be a reach and foul on Gray as their Tetons were caught switching on the screen. And the speedy Hooper got around the corner. Jersey Berg checking out of the game for Williston State. Emily Fixico seeing her first action. And Allie Garcia also coming out with Tia Connerson checking back in. Inbound play goes up on top. Gray looking for a good denial on Green. They're going to flip it back out. Three-pointer from Fischbach. That's not going to hit anything. Rebound pulled down by Connerson. She flips it over to Simpson. Now up to Bolito. Bolito drives baseline on Cohn. Reverse layup is going to be no good, but it'll be a foul on Cohn to send Bolito back to the stripe. We'll see a Bolito with 8 points so far in the game. just about what she averages on the season. Chance to put herself into double digits here in this one. 89-42. Bolito for the first one is going to be up and good. Got one more coming. So everyone dressed out for Williston State that able to play has so far. The next one is going to be up and good as well. Vines pushing up the court. That foul on Cohn was her third personal, fourth team in the quarter. Green gets it up on top, working on Gray, backing down on Gray, picks it up, gets it over now to Conzelman. She's going to be blocked by Simpson, picked up now by Conradson, back to Simpson, and back come the Tetons. Close it on 4 minutes left to go. Brisky set to check in on the next stop. Conradson pulls out, up on top of the perimeter. Gray looking underneath. Fixico, drop step, shimmy and shake, force one up, gets it a drop. Emily Fixico with her first basket of the game, and the Tetons now up 51 points, 93-42. Cohn over to Crean. Driving high post, back to Cohn. Gonna be sealed off, looks to drive, kicks it out of the corner. Fishbach over to Vines on top. Bolito with a good breakdown, poke away, but back into the hands of Fishbach. Again, a poke away by Bolito. It'll go out of bounds and stay with this GSU squad. So Simpson's going to check out of the game for Williston State. Demontney comes in, and then Bolito comes out of the game with Brisky checking back in. Inbound play for DSU. They get it to Vines. Up on top, now over to Crean, looking to take Gray, gets a step. Gray did a good job altering the path, gets a block on that one as it'll get it back down to DeMonte. Crosses over on Vines to Fixico in the corner. Now to Brisky. Brisky driving baseline, cut off, spins up on the free throw line to Gray. Got it to go. Patience Gray with now 6 points in the game on 3 made field goals. 95-42, 3 minutes left to go. Vine has it on the perimeter, picked up by Brisky. Now on the wing, underneath, Crean working on Gray again. She's staying out on the perimeter. Three-pointer from Conzelman. Off the back of the iron, no good. Tipped around, and finally Brisky is going to wrestle it away from Vines. Now looking for help, picked it up. Ships it over to Conradson, who pushes it up the court. Gets just across the timeline before the violation. Fixico. Demonte, baseline drive, good move. Demonte flips one up, just off the backboard, no good. Back up the court comes Fishbach. He'll be picked up on the perimeter, mismatch with Gray. Three-pointer is going to be off the front, no good. Conradson again with another board for Williston State, closing in on 2 minutes left to go. 5 subs set to come in for DSU at the next break. Demonte crosses it over, up on top to Gray. Has Fixico underneath. Big push down low by Vines, not whistled. Conradson looking to drive. Shimmy or shake, weaving through traffic up on top to Fixico. Looking for Gray down low. Good seal by Crean. Looking for Fixico again. Has a step. Drops it up, and it's going to be a foul on the ground, but that'll be the 15th foul on DSU here in the quarter, which will send Emily Fixico to the line for 2 shots. Substitutions coming in for the Blue Hawks. This will be 5 substitutes in to replace the 5 starters. Down the court for DSU. It's going to be Fishbach, Cohn, Stevenson, Townsend, and Wheeler. Fixico's first of 2 is going to be up and good. She now has 3 points for Williston State. One more coming from the freshman. At the line for her second of 2, and there's going to be a lane violation by Gray, and that'll wipe off the free throw. The Tetons get 1 of 2 from the line and lead 96-42. Under 2 minutes left to go here in this one. Wheeler pushing up the court. Up on top of the perimeter. Now gets it over to Townsend. Continue to work their way around. Back to Wheeler on the wing. Crosses over. Step back over the top of Conradson. Off the mark, no good. Gray with the rebound. She'll get it over to Demonte. Demonte up the court. Blows by a defender. Picks up a Fixico screen. Looking to drive baseline. Backing down. Back out to Fixico. Steps into a long-range 2-pointer. Got it to go. Emily Fixico now with 5 points. 1:20 left to go. Williston State up 98-42. Quick 3-pointer from Townsend. That's no good. Poked around. Offensive rebound up. That's no good. Demonte comes down to the board behind her back dribble, and that'll push it back up the court for Williston State. Tetons setting up an offense with all the reserves in on the bench. Conradson on the near wing. She'll drive baseline. Tia drives through contact, puts it up and in. She gets her first points of the game. So Tia with 2 more, and the Tetons are now up to triple digits. Back up the court come the Blue Hawks. Under a minute left to go, 45 seconds left in the game. Wild shot forced up, no good by Stevenson. Pulled down by Brisky. Devantney crosses over again on a defender, working her way up the timeline. Picks up her dribble, long pass over to Conradson. Conradson again and a chance to drive up on top to Fixico. Looking for Brisky. That one's going to be stolen by the Blue Hawks. Off the races comes Wheeler. Fixico, the only one in her way. That's going to be a block by Fixico. She takes the ball away, and she's going to lose it again to Anderson. And this time, Fixico does catch the arm of Anderson on the shot. So that will put Addie Anderson to the stripe for a pair. Here with 16.7 seconds left to go in the game. First one up by Anderson is going to be good. She'll have one more coming. Next on the way, that one is going to be good as well. Final 16 seconds left of the game. Conradson walks it up the timeline. She'll cross over and dribble out the final 10 seconds here of this one. As Wheeler putting some pressure on. Conradson will pull back. Long pass over to Devantney. She keeps the dribble alive as time will run out. Williston State with the 56-point victory, 100-44. We're going to head on down to the scorers bench to get the complete post-game scores here as we are now in between games. Before we do, we'll have one of our ad reads here. Looking for reliable professional services for your business? Look no further than One Course Services. They specialize in optimizing operations, enhancing productivity, and ensuring safety across all facets of your business. Whether you need high-pressure pumps, hydraulic, acid, or bulk chemicals, they've got you covered. At One Course Services, they tailor solutions to fit your unique needs, helping you save time and money. Ready to take your product to the next level? Call them today, 701-774-1105. One Course Services, LLC, your trusted partner for success in the oil and gas industry.
Good